Well, hello YouTube. Welcome. I am Tiffany Monique Walker of Embrace Life Media, where we empower you to embrace life and equip you to build your empire. My life motto as of lately have been be an empress, build your empire and embrace life. Or an emperor, but yeah, be an empress. Not a queen, but an empress, and we'll get into that a few videos later down the line. Excuse me. If you haven't noticed anything differently, I didn't do anything fancy today. I'm just coming to you off of my laptop and not from the camera. I salute the people who can constantly use their camera and edit it and make it look, nice and pretty. But I have a busy week and I'm actually preparing to move. I'm going to miss this wall here. But give me a wall and I could slap some paint on it anywhere. And I actually did this myself. So people that know me know that this was like a big deal for me to do this myself, because normally I would have just threw money at the problem. And come to find out, it wasn't that bad. It's actually a nice metallic gold Ralph Lauren from Home Depot. It was kind of expensive. Only because I didn't know what I was doing, so I had to keep going back and buying it. But it would have been cheaper if I would just went on and got the whole gallon. But yeah, so I'm here today with part 2 of our 3-part video series of brand building and what does it mean to build your brand. Now, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be looking at the camera directly, which probably, but I'm kind of just looking down at myself. So bear with me. This is a raw type of video today. But no excuses. I had to be here. Sometimes you may see it with edited, and then sometimes it may just be raw. For the sake of just getting things out there and saving time, because it can take anywhere between like 6 hours just to edit a video. And so that will have to come with team building, or if I just have, extra time to do it, then I will. So, and it's so funny. I'm going to get into what we're going to discuss, but when I first started, I used my laptop and that worked just well. In fact, the first video I believe I ever done was on building your brand back in 2013, and that video got me my first assistant. They reached out to me. They wanted to work with the company, and So I say all that to say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Sometimes, we just overcomplicate things and we just think it has to be perfect. No, just get it done, create your story, build your mess, and you'll clean it up later once you learn. And so the whole thing is just to get the work done. You don't always have to focus on it being perfect, which is kind of an oxymoron for what the topic of discussion will be today. But then again, it's not, because you see I have this elegant wall here. You guys like my hourglass? Someone got me this. My friend, one of my great friends, bought me this for my birthday. And when I opened it, I was like, what is this? I don't, what? I'm not really going to use it. But then when I really think about it, this is the best gift you could ever give someone for their office. It's like my zen. It calms me down. And it's a 2-hour timer. So we're literally in real time right now. It's not to be taken for granted. I do need to, however, clean it. But isn't this beautiful? It is. I thought about spraying it, but it just keeps me calm. And when I'm at work and I'm at my desk, that's what I'm flipping over and we're getting things done. And I think it's pretty cool that I can actually record us being in real time. How phenomenal is that? How great is that? All right, so this is part 2 of building your brand and what it takes. And what we discussed last week was just merely just what branding is. What does branding mean? The do's and the don'ts of branding. I did want to get a little fancy in this video and kind of use certain people's brand for an example. But I said I can't really do that, because if I critique a great one, then I would have to critique a not so great one. And I don't really want to put anyone on blast. So hopefully you just have your pen and your paper ready and you can understand where I'm coming from, and maybe you can keep some people in mind. And I'm not that technical yet where I can like blur certain things out. And I just didn't really want to put people on blast, but we see this all the time. And yeah, so let's just move forward. Okay. So this topic of discussion, we talked about branding, what that is. The part two would be one of the most important, if not the most important part of building your brand. You know, with Embrace Life Media, the talk show portion of it, we've had so many people on our show, and we've had people who was not that smart. I don't want to say that smart because I'm not calling them not smart, but I'm just saying they didn't have all the answers, Sway. They didn't have it all together. They didn't have it all figured out. But one of the things that they had on the nail, which is really all that matters, is something that we see time and time again. It's something that we can go back. I'm going to use a few examples of the people from even back in the day and try to kind of use it now. So just follow me here. So we see this time and time again. And if you have this down pat, then you really do win with building your brand. It's how you gain influence. To me, and no, I didn't go to college for this. You don't have to. What I'm speaking on to you guys is plain experience. I've been doing it since 2009. And really, we've had a lot of people back in 2013 and 2014 and 15 on the talk show where I know this stuff. This is my thing. This is kind of what I'm good at, and it has also developed myself. So as I'm interviewing these people and I'm just studying and I'm doing trial and error, I was able to learn a few key things as well, and I came up with this too. All right, so you ready? Pen and paper handy? The number one thing in building your brand successfully, in my opinion, and I know that this is the key secret. So some people can agree to disagree, but I know better. Beyonce just posted a photo. So they got me on the B. They definitely got me with B. Like, I don't even hardly use Instagram anymore that much. But when they say Beyonce, and I bet it's going to be a Prince, but then you just have to check it. And am I really doing this while we're recording? I knew it. I told you guys, didn't I tell you it was going to be a Prince? Rest in peace to Prince. It's such a shocker. But we can even use Prince for an example. Actually, yes, because he is the beginning of time. He's been doing this before it was a trend. So let's go ahead on and get right into it. In fact, we will use Prince since we're honoring Prince. Rest in peace to Prince. We're going to use him as an example of what it is that I'm discussing. So I know you're like, would you just get to the point already and just say what it is? But I like to build you guys up, you know. That's what it's all about, that build up. But the number one secret to building your brand successfully is your image. Did you guys hear me? It is your image. That is the absolute secret in building your brand. So I would say you would have to have your image down packed before. Okay, so say you don't have anything else right. Say, you know, your content isn't that good, your product isn't that great, whatever it is. And we see this all the time. We see people with crappy products and services, but they have the image. They have the image and they have that figured out. We can use Prince. Prince, I mean, if you're influencing Michael Jackson, then you pretty much, you had it all figured out, right? Prince was exquisite. He was different. He was bold. He was daring with his image and his look. He's probably the only one that can pull your girl with some kitten heels and a fur coat and a purse. Someone said that to me today, and they're right. They're absolutely right. He's probably the last person that can do that on earth. The last person. But it's about your image. And when I say your image, it is a few things. I'm talking about maybe your, it's a few things. It can be about like your flyers and your image on that and how that's all together. Yes, that's important to have that together as well. I would say probably 85%. But the number one thing is really your self image and how you look. Now, don't feel bad if you feel like you're not a stylish person or you're not into this, into that. That can always be worked on. I mean, some people just get it naturally, you know. Some people just have it naturally, but then some people have to work on it. Now, I am, and which I think a lot of people probably don't even know because I'm not really into like taking photos all like that all the time because I would have to take 100 of them to get one. But your image, what is your image? How are you looking? How are you conveying yourself? Your image, having a great image is what really, really brings forth influence. And we see this all the time on Instagram. That's how you have your Instagram celebrities, your social media stars, because they have a great image. Now, I'm not saying don't be authentic because we see that as well. We see people who where it just looks like they have it all together and they're just perfect and they have it all figured out and they have their Chanel and their Gucci and their red bottoms or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, well, yeah, I kind of am saying that because, no, you don't have to be a millionaire. You know, you don't have to have like these material things, but you should work on your look. You should be able to be presentable. You know, nowadays you can just YouTube how to apply lashes or how to contour or highlight. And I guess I'm speaking to my ladies. I mean, you can do it for men too. You can Google anything, is what I'm saying. I learned how to do my makeup off of YouTube. Off of YouTube. But for the most part, I've had people on the show who really didn't have all the answers. And I'm getting a little repetitive, but I'm just really trying to stress that fact to you. They didn't have so much of that together, but they were nice looking, kept themselves up, you know, and you don't have to go and spend $100 on a shirt. No. This thing right here probably costs $9 or something. This turban is $5. I paid, these used to be earrings. So you can get creative. You don't have to. These were sent to me for free. I so love these. I can't think of the company. But you don't have to be perfect, but you do really want to work on your image, darling. Your image. There would be no Prince if there were no image. There would be no Tupac if it wasn't for his image. You understand what I'm saying? When we really look at a person's image and where they were in the limelight, we're just going to use celebrities for example. And yeah, they have money, but that's not really everything. It's really just about getting creative and just being yourself, being able to express yourself. You don't have to look like $1,000,000. I see people with the natural look or, you know, just a plain look, but that's their image and it works for them. That is a part of your brand. What is your image? What's your image? Start to really think about that. You know, for a long time when I started this thing, I would try to fit in with Instagram. You guys had no idea what I used to go through. I would fake go places and get in front of the mirror and take a picture. And then as soon as I post that picture, take my clothes off and lay down. It was too much to try to keep up with that life, right? And it just didn't feel totally comfortable. I had my sew-ins all the time. I just felt like I was just trying to really keep up with the times. And through really digging deep and self-reflection, I eventually figured out my look. in who I really was. And that is my braids, darling. But it's not just my braids, but my braids go like to my ankles. See, I haven't even showed you guys that yet. Maybe I'll put some pictures up. I don't know. But that is a part of my image. That is who I am. So you just have to find out who you are and be able to express yourself through that. And there's a lot where that came from, darling, with these braids. There's so much more for you guys in store for that. In store for you guys for that. But that's really simple, right? But it's very, very key. I'm not saying be like the next person. Trust me, I tried that. That's draining. That did not work for me. I was so miserable. But I had the following. I had the likes. I kept people engaged. People thought I was somebody because I kept it sewing and I was able to get my red bottoms and all that. I mean, you guys really wouldn't believe what me and my assistant went through behind closed doors, like trying to prove myself in a different way. And then even this is a part of image. You see, it's about how you make a person feel through your image. Once you look a certain way, you feel a certain way, and you just get respect like that. And that's nothing new. That's just like when you go into a job interview. This video is getting a little long, but I hope you guys are feeling me. When you go to a job interview, you don't it's about your image, right? You dress a certain way. You put on. And you guys really will have to find out what that is for you. It took me about I would say about a year and a half, 2 years when I first started this 2013. I figured it out at the end of 2014. But for that whole year, I was absolutely miserable trying to keep up with the Joneses and do what everyone else was doing. So I keep saying it, but it will come to you. I'm just putting that out there in the universe. How do you want your look to be? If you think about Nicki Minaj, when she first started, what did she do? She always had her bob. And she did that for a reason. And then she started doing crazy things, big color wigs. It was about her image. She's a perfect example. She totally branded herself through the colored wigs and just looking like a Barbie and, being vibrant and flamboyant to gain people's attention. So she got attention from children, adults. And at the time, adults probably thought she was cuckooed out of her mind, but she knew what she was doing. She knew where she was going with it eventually, and look at her now. Now she's able to tame all of that down, and she still puts on every now and again. I'm just using her as an example, but guys, I cannot stress that to you enough. If you really want to take it to the next level, and this is a secret here, I'm really giving you guys these tips, like, I should be getting paid to teach this. And it may seem like a no-brainer to some people, but a lot of people don't think about that. I see people selling makeup, and they never wear makeup a day in their life. That's not going to work for your brand. You have to become that. You can't sell a weight loss product and you're never in the gym. It's about your image fitting what it is that you're doing. People that sell hair, I'm just going to call out April Diva Styles. If you don't know who she is, then look her up. Diva Glam, I think it's her website.com or something, but she spells it differently. But she's believable. Her image keeps up with her brand. You understand? It really is about that image. Now, she's making buku money, so she's able to keep up with a lot, and she likes to find her things in life. Everyone doesn't have to be, that way. There's a lot of people making a lot of money who's not, in Chanel bags every day. I'm just using her for an example because I think she does a great job at what she do. But your image, if you really want to be believable, if you want for people to really buy into what you are doing, honey, then you have to get that together. You really, really do. You have to think about that. You have to get that together, and you have to just look in the mirror and just be honest with yourself. And ask yourself, what can you do to turn it up? How do you think Lady Gaga got to where she is? She totally turned it up. Now, you don't have to walk out in a pack of meat to get people's attention. No. My braids are to my ankles. Okay? I'm not exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating. I cut them a little bit, but you see? The new Rapunzel. The black Rapunzel. And when I go out, do you know how many people stop and say something to me? I mean, I think my hair is a mess right now, which is why I have a turban on. But I still get compliments. I still get people asking me questions. It gets people's attention. I'm not saying go and get braids down to your feet, but that's who I am. It's 84 inches. And that's just what it is. I discovered myself. You discover yours. So I'm coming to you guys extremely raw today. This video is a little longer than I anticipated it for it to be. But I really hope that you get that. I really hope that you get that, because that is about 99% of building a successful brand. Your image has to match. And so I'm not saying to be fake and phony. No, you can still be yourself, but you have to figure out how to evolve. Everything's about growth and evolve and evolution and just stepping it up. Figure that out. Okay, guys? All right, so the next video, 3-part series on building your brand, we will talk on your audience. Excuse me. We will talk on your audience and how to keep them engaged, and what does that really entail when it comes to building your brand. And I don't have to sit up here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th thing, the 6th thing. No, this stuff is pretty simple, but it's not easy, always easy, but it's definitely simple. Okay, so that will be next Thursday. We will discuss that, your audience, and how to build your brand through that, as I have done on Instagram, as I have done on Facebook right now. We have over 11,000 supporters on Facebook for our local movement, STK Embrace Life, which is Stop the Killing, because there's a lot of violence going on in my city, and someone just had to step up and do it. So I will speak to you guys about that. If you're on Facebook, make sure that you are joining on Facebook, EmbraceLifeMedia. And I sent something. I can't log into they can't find my Instagram account. So I sent something to the customer service. So we will see, guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining. That was a big tip, and that may take you some time to get, but at least now you know. So look at some people that you admire or that you respect in their brand building, and write down what it is that you love about them. And then figure out how to apply it, but make it yours. Make it yours. That's all it is. There's nothing new under the sun. We're just taking ideas that surround us and figuring out how to make it our own. It's really, really that simple. So I will see you guys. Actually, I'm going to record tomorrow, but the next series will be next Thursday. So we will focus on that. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. This is the longest video I've ever done, but it is very much so necessary. Excuse me. I think I actually, excuse me. Every time I end the video, I say, I should have said this, I should have said that. So let's focus on this wall here. I invested into a nice background because it's about image. I see people do tutorials on YouTube that can't do makeup, but they're pretty, and their background is nice. Their image is nice. You're going to see that a lot now that you know it. Now that you're awakened to it, you can look around and you can see. So if you have a great image with even better content, winning, you're definitely on your way to winning this thing and brand building. And we know that's all the secret. Okay? All right, so I hope you guys are embracing life. I hope that I share everything. This is really, really, really a raw video, but I'm just going to put it out there anyway, because sometimes that's just what you have to do. So thank you for joining, and we'll see. Maybe the next video will be edited this time, but I really just wanted to focus on that. And I might give you something edited, but right now, this is what it is. So, all right, I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining. And make sure that you're following the Facebook Embrace Life Media. Okay? All right.